Okay, so when we take a look here, I didn't see any issues with coding. Looks right on target with that. When it comes to your styling, some normal stuff that you have here. You definitely want to change your visited color link. So, when you click on these, you have those options there. And really, I don't think purple fits the visited aspect. And I put a link, I'll post a link in the discussion thread with that. This is a paragraph of text, really hard to read, especially with a background with white or black and white text. You really got to add the bold and italics in here to help make it easier to glance. I also would go in and, depending, most of the time, like these labels down here where it says founder, owner, I'd probably bold, the titles, so it stands out so we can read it a little bit easier on that part. Um, I, I don't know about this table yet. Maybe you're gonna add images. That you might let me know, but it's just I don't not sure about this aspect. So let's see here. You have the menu. One thing you could do, yeah. So like for example, what we can do here, Mad Burger. Okay. So if I go down here with this DT and I specifically name it ID equals um, I'll just do it MADB, okay? Then what I can do up here is I can create a anchor tag, AREF equals. I'm going to link to the ID, and you have to spell it out. And it's hashtag mag. You have to put the hashtag in because you have to tell it look for an ID. And so I'm going to do MADB quotation marks. Okay, I'm going to put the closing anchor tag right after that. And what will happen is when I refresh here, it becomes a link, and when I click on it, it takes me down. See how it puts Mad Burger right at the top? So I think you want to do something like that, definitely, because I'll add a little more creativity and make me be able to find where it is in this list. Because no one wants to go in and glance really quickly if this is up here. So excuse me. Um, I also think the pricing that you have down here in the definition list, we really need to make it stand out. I mean, if someone's going to buy a menu, they want to see the price right away. So I think the way you have it set up is not quite where it needs to be yet. Okay, maybe it's just some formatting. I think what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to add another DD, possibly, right after your definition, because you can add multiple DDs to your terms. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this DD. I'm going to name this class, and you give it a name, just like an ID, but class I'm going to, with the difference between the class and ID, ID you can only use once on the page, class you can use multiple times. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this class, I'm going to copy it. Actually, I can just copy this whole thing. So what I'll do is I'll come down here and do the next one. Okay, and since it's the same price, I'll just delete that. Now what's going to look like is it just puts it on the price down below. Now we can have a little more control with this. So this is where we start experimenting. So let me go into the style sheet real quick. Yeah, I think what we need to do is get the price over here kind of separated. So what I had to do is, after just looking at it, what I want you to do is take that DD I added. Don't put it after the definition. Put it before the DD definition. Okay, and you're going to say, well, why? Because if you want it over on the right, well, that's where we go in and I apply a style. So when I apply a style in the style sheet, I tell it to put in the dot. I type in format text, the name of the class. It's going to apply it to both. I'm going to choose the float right, which you learned this week. And so adding a float is going to force that text to the right of the content, the next content that you have there. So I made it bold, I changed the red color, increased the font size, stands up. Then all you have to do is basically copy this and then change the price and delete delete the price you have in the other definitions. So then when you refresh, See, that comes up. Now what you could do as well is you could do text, you can do an underline, make sure it stands out that way. But something like that, I really want to bring that out as much as possible. I almost think we probably need to add a little extra space between the definitions. So like here with the DD, I might add a little padding at the bottom, so like 10 pixels. And so when I do that, make sure you have a good understanding of paddings and margins. I know you added a couple, but make sure you understand the difference. And so here, that just adds a little extra space at the bottom, so it makes it stand out a little bit more. So something to think about, to work with.